All right, listen, Kendrick Perkins, sometimes you got to be your own hero in life. So tell me this, will Harden ever be the hero again?
Absolutely not. And I don't care if, I don't believe Harden cares if he is going to be a hero again. I don't care if he gives a damn about being vilified. And I don't either. Here's the thing. James Harden just lied throughout that whole interview. Talk about all he do is care about winning. Because if you did, you would have stayed with Philadelphia. Because you and Joel Embiid was the perfect fit. Now, I will say this. When I look at this Clippers team, I feel so bad for my brother T. Lue.
I told you that last year.
I prayed for him the other day on Countdown. I actually prayed for him. I said a prayer for T. Lue because of what he's about to go through with this situation. And he deserves better. When you look at this team, before they traded for James Harden, they wasn't missing anything. When you think about a guy like Nicholas Batum, right? Not the Nicholas Batum that we expected him to be when he was in with the Bobcats or the Hornets at the time. I'm talking about Nicholas Batum, the role player. He was the perfect fit for them. When you look at Robert Covington, he was the perfect fit for them, right? I'm looking at the Clippers, and they have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians, right? You need those role players around them. So this is not about Harden, right? I'm not believing I want to win and I just want to win. That's not true. We don't trust you. But the thing is that I feel bad for my guy, T. Lue, because this is about to be a stressful season for him dealing with this Clipper roster.
You know what's fascinating is that in the first 5 games of the season, and I know 5 games is nothing in the NBA. It's literally nothing. Yeah. The first 5 games of the season, you know who the most effective offensive lineup, 3-man lineup in the whole NBA was?
Let's tell us, Wendy.
Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook. Those guys were killing it. Now, look, I'm not saying they would have been that way for 82 games or throughout 2 months of the playoffs. But they actually were playing beautiful basketball together. They were putting up some of the best offensive numbers in the league. So they make this trade, and you can tell watching these 2 games in New York, the Clippers' offense has collapsed.
Yeah.
And when you watch them, they're forcing all 4 of them to play together in the starting lineup. And I don't think that's going to work, but they got to manage the egos there. And in this game last night, you had Russell Westbrook taking 18 shots and James Harden taking 9. Now, again, we're talking about 1 game in November. It's their 2nd game together, but that ain't going to work. That's not going to fly. So they actually had found a nice little groove after Westbrook had played well for them last year before the injuries, and they've now taken that snow globe and shaken it all up. And so Ty Lue has said he needs 10 to 15 games to figure this out. I think it's going to take longer than that. They obviously made this trade to raise their ceiling, and over the long haul, they believe that's going to be the case. But I think they may have messed up something that they had something cooking. And maybe that team with those 3 guys as their best offensive players, maybe they couldn't beat the Denver Nuggets when it mattered. And maybe when Harden hits his stride, if Harden hits his stride, they'll have a chance to go up there and compete on the level of the Denver Nuggets, who, by the way, are 8-1, and Nikola Jokic has 9 straight 20-10 games. Maybe that's what they did. But I would just say that the short term here has caused a setback. And it'll be interesting to see if they can ever recapture the efficiency that they had just before they made this trade.
Here's my deal. They're 0-2 with Harden. Harden's shooting 55% from the field, about 40+% from 3-point range, taking less shots. What makes it tricky is that now you're going to ask somebody to make a sacrifice. That's basically what you're coming down to. Because I'm going to tell everybody right now, say what you want about Russell Westbrook. Ever since he's become a Los Angeles Clipper, he has looked a lot better. We thought his career was damn near finished when he was with the Lakers.
Yeah.
He's resurrected himself, and he's been a plus to that Clippers organization. And to me, if you're the Clippers, I'm wondering why you even felt the need to go out and get a James Harden when you had Russell Westbrook there playing the way he played. By the way, didn't play that bad in the playoffs. Remember, you don't have Kawhi Leonard. He goes down after the second game. He won them some games. And then when you look at Russell Westbrook and the way that he played, if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are healthy last year, are we sure Phoenix would have got out of the first round?
No.
But the Clippers would have beat them. And so I look at it from that perspective, and I'm wondering why the Clippers didn't ask themselves that particular question. So now you've got James Harden coming here. And here's what I would say to James Harden. I'm not going to go at him like you just did, even though you ain't wrong. I will say this to you. I'm going to be nice about it. Yo, bro, 3-time scoring champion, league MVP. You have everything on your resume but a championship. What you smiling about? What's so funny? What's so relaxing? You understand what I'm saying? There's something about you in your soul that needs to, it needs to be something, James Harden, that's irritating the hell out of you. Okay? You were in Brooklyn last night, okay? We remember when Kyrie Irving went down, when you were still hurt, and you came out there in that Game 7, and you played with Kevin Durant, and you couldn't get it done. It wasn't your fault, but you were hurt, but you couldn't beat Milwaukee, obviously. We got that. We saw that. But knowing what you sacrificed and what you were willing to put out when you were in Brooklyn before you left, they booed you last night. They booed you. Chances are you come to Philly, they're going to boo you.
They booed him in the Garden.
They booed you in the Garden the other night. We don't know whether or not you're going to get booed when you go back to Houston, despite the great years that you've given to that city and that organization. This is what it is for you, James Harden. And so for me, it should be something in him that's hell-bent on going out there and trying to wreak havoc. And then last but not least, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, James Harden. The three guys was the most games played without an NBA championship to show on their resume. The Clippers should be the team with the biggest attitude you could possibly muster. They should be going at games night in, night out, ready to wreak havoc and show the basketball world we coming for all of y'all. That's what should be happening because with their talent, they don't have a championship.
Well, one, S.A., is like, this is where I disagree with you, Ed. Okay. Because you're asking someone to have some type of passion and drive about themselves, like in a James Harden, when he has shown us time and time again that he doesn't give a damn. How many times have we seen them get bounced out of the playoffs and in the same night he's been in the club? We done seen videos of him in the club. We done seen it too many times. I want to overreact to this loss last night. Do you realize the Brooklyn Nets were missing Ben Simmons? The Brooklyn Nets were missing Cam Johnson. And the Brooklyn Nets lost Cam Thompson, Cam Thomas, who I believe is their leading scorer right now, who's been balling, and you lose that game.
Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton, not in the lineup. So when I think about the Clippers and I think about what Kawhi Leonard said after they lost to the New York Knicks, we got a lot of people that could score now, so I'm going to just, I just got to wait on my opportunity. You are the opportunity. Kawhi Leonard is the opportunity. He's the opportunity for the Clippers to take that next leap of winning the championship. So at the end of the day, we can see it right now. The writing is on the wall after 2 games. That chemistry is gone, man. You got to think about the young guys that you got coming in off the bench. You got Bones Holland. He want the ball in his hands.
He didn't play in the second half.
My point exactly, right? He was getting quality minutes. What you gonna do with the kid, man, right? You take him away from his game, his growth. So it's like, okay, what direction you moving in? The Clippers made this move because they were desperate when it comes to James Harden.
And they shouldn't have felt desperate. That's my point.
Yeah.
What was the reason for feeling desperate?
Well, they've got 4 months to figure it out. But if for no other reason, James Harden, look at the Sixers. The Sixers are playing great. They're 6-1. They beat the Celtics They beat the Celtics last night. Their only loss was by 1 point in Milwaukee on opening night.
And that's questionable. Because they should have won that one.
And if anything, your ex is living well. You want to get back at that. I'm not going to freak out about the Clippers struggling in their first couple of days with James Harden. But you are right, Perk. That was a grade A bad loss last night. And that's not the greatest start that you're looking for.
I'm just looking at them and I'm just saying, look, man, at some point in time, where's your heart? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have, you got 3 guys on there that's played there. You got 3 guys that's arguably Hall of Famers, and you don't have one single championship to show for it. You should have attitude, and we ain't talking about Russell Westbrook because we know he got attitude. That's one thing he got attitude, okay? So we know that. But you look at Harden, the laissez-faire approach, the attitude is everything's going to be all right. No. You got to go for it. You really, really do. And somebody's got to make a sacrifice. Somebody's going to have to make a sacrifice because the 4 of them in the lineup together ain't cutting it. You basically got Harden because you anticipate that Kawhi Leonard or Paul George going to get hurt and ain't going to be able to play. That's basically why you got Harden. But in the end, you got to have something. You got to show everybody you want this. And we don't see that from the Clippers right now. And if I was a Ty Lue, this would be my last year coaching in the Clippers. I would want a better situation. I really would.
Stand on that.
I really would.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
All right. The Clippers are at the Mavs tomorrow as the start of the in-season tournament, the group stage, gentlemen.